Matt Del Vecchio here. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Gorgeous, sunny Sunday for us. You know, if you were to take a poll out there, you'd see that most of us want to age at home for as long as possible. Well, in order for that to happen, you may need to make some adjustments at home. And let's bring Zander back in. Zander Masser is a respected occupational therapist. He does this for a living. Zander, welcome back to Life Unrehearsed.
Glad to be back.
Well, thank you for sticking around. I would certainly be remiss not keeping you here to talk about a very important subject I see in my world, and obviously you do as well. So let's get right into it. You know, we mentioned that people do want to age at home. It's only natural for as long as we possibly can. And occupational therapists can play a key role in helping with that process. So give us an example. When you're in a home, what do you do in a typical home visit?
Sure. So the second I pull up in my car to somebody's home, I immediately start assessing what I see. Stairs in front of the home, what the driveway looks like, what the ground looks like, are there handrails, are there doorway thresholds? And then I go in and I'll do an interview with the client and their family and talk about what potential functional issues they're having, function being the main word there. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I observe how people do their daily tasks in their home, taking a shower, using the toilet, getting in and out of bed, cooking meals, anything that you do in the home. What I do is observe how they do it, identify what potential safety issues or autonomy issues they might be having, and make a suite of recommendations to modify or adapt their environment to make it safer for them.
You know, let's get into those high risk areas now.
Sure.
You're there. We see a lot of slips and falls, and there's some higher risk areas than others. Tell us a little bit about those slip and fall hazards and where we should be looking.
Sure. I mean, the most common one for sure is the bathroom. That's where the floors get wet. And there's kind of a tight environment. So getting in and out of a shower or a bathtub. So if there's no anti-slip mats, for example, or if someone has trouble lifting their legs over the side of the tub and they don't have handholds or something to hold on to, that's a super high risk. People have trouble standing in the shower for reasons of fatigue or pain. They might need somewhere to sit while doing their shower. They may need to hold on to armrests like they do in a dining room chair. They might need that for a toilet too.
Mm-hmm. Other slip and fall areas outside the bathroom, where are you seeing this happening?
Definitely in the outdoor environment, so at entrances, especially in the wintertime. Stairs that don't have handrails, stairs that are uneven or shallow, those are definitely some high-risk areas as well.
Talking with occupational therapist Zander Masser about how we could age at home longer. Zander, let's hear some of the recommendations. You know, this is what you do. You're doing your home visits, and you come with a whole bunch of recommendations. What are some of the more popular recommendations that you're making to families and couples and individuals in their home?
Yeah. So as far as handholds go, one from falling out of bed, but to help them get in and out, grab bars in the shower, toilet safety bars, floor to ceiling poles that can help people to get in and out of showers, in and out of bed.
So just on that, so you're
Sure.
literally a pole that goes from the floor to the screwed into the ceiling and the floor, but
Exactly.
It gives some support to transfer and transition.
Exactly. And they often have a horizontal bar as well, so you can have two places to hold on to. Even for some people who experience vertigo or dizziness and might need 30 seconds, let's say, to stabilize after they stand up before they start walking, that type of equipment is really, really helpful.
And those grab bars in bathrooms, you know, those towel bars are not grab bars, right? You truly need the grab bars that are well installed.
That's meant to hold a towel, not a person. But there's also some higher level interventions that I recommend, such as stair lifts, platform lifts for wheelchair users, or even for people who use walkers, so outside the home, and even elevators inside and outside the home for people who really can't do stairs or are dependent on a wheelchair or walker to get around. It's possible to modify the home to avoid using stairs altogether.
Right, and some of them make a lot of sense. Some of them could be very expensive. You've mentioned handrails, much less expensive start, but mobility and stairs, they don't go hand in hand, so you do need that support there. Are you seeing anything about lighting playing a role in the safety at home?
Yes, absolutely. Especially, I would say, during the night. I have a lot of clients who have to use the bathroom frequently and getting up at night. So even if just getting out of bed is difficult, not just that bed rail that I mentioned before, but making sure that not just only at the bed, but the entire walkway from the bedroom to the bathroom. I often recommend motion detected lights. You can just plug into the wall, and all along the walkway between the bedroom and the bathroom, once it detects somebody walking, it will automatically light up the walkway, and that's a huge fall prevention strategy.
Very, very smart. I mean, let's face it, when you're getting up in the middle of whether you're an older adult or not, you're still lightheaded, you're not really with it, and
you're at your worst.
Yes. Yeah. So excellent recommendation. Talking with occupational therapist Zander Masser here on Life on Rehearse. Great ideas and great suggestions, Zander. We talked about some of those expensive adjustments and modifications. However, there's something called the Programme d'Adaptation de Domicile, PAD, I guess, or PAD, right?
Yep.
Tell us about that.
Yep, we'll call it the PAD program.
Okay.
And it's a really wonderful provincially funded program that will fund up to $50,000 of home modifications for people who have permanent mobility issues or disabilities that hinder their access to their home. And it's a really great program that requires the recommendations and assessment of an occupational therapist, typically. And once they apply, they do the OT assessment. The OT, and then the OT will facilitate the process for getting any number of home modifications done and funded for by the government.
And so just to expand a little bit on that.
Sure.
Very interesting program. So give it, play this through. Let's say you need a chairlift as a recommendation.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if that's one of the ones that would be.
It is.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
A chairlift can be $10,000-$15,000 sometimes, especially if there's some rounding of the stairs.
Yeah.
So what's the process? You help the family would apply through PAD.
So there's a paper application that they can request at their CLSC. If you live in the city of Montreal, you can do it online. Outside of the city, you have to do a paper application. So one of the reasons I exist is, and I'm not here to knock the public system at all. Once they apply, they'll receive a letter stating that they can wait for an occupational therapist from the CLSC to visit them, or they can go with a private OT. Right. Every time I see someone who hires me, they say the CLSC told them it will be a 2-year wait. Right. So that's why I exist and I come in. Mm-hmm. I come in, I do my assessment, make the recommendations, send the forms in. An architect from the city will then come back for a second visit with me, where we will finalize all the recommendations. The architect will confirm that it's feasible, follows the codes, and then it's up to the client to get quotes from a contractor.
Goal for the government to pick up the whole tab on that one,
Anything up to $50,000.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Very good. And I feel the frustration, it's no knock on public CLSC occupational therapists. You were one of them too, but it's just the system is so stretched, and you're playing a valuable role in helping families age at home longer.
Yes. Can I add one thing?
Yeah, sure.
Just quickly. On top of that $50,000, the fees that I charge as an OT are also reimbursed, separate from the $50,000.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, so 2 questions for you. That what program is that? If our listeners want to find out more, what can
that
they
is
search?
The PAD program, the Programme d'Adaptation de Domicile.
Okay, and PAD, great. And if our listeners want to get a hold of you, Zander Masser, how would they do that?
So they can check out our mobile OT business, which is called ErgoV. So it's ergov.ca, or you can email info@ergov.ca.
Ergov.ca, love it. Well, thank you very much. Great advice, Zander. Happy Father's Day, and really appreciate you coming in.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Zander Masser, occupational therapist, joining me on Life on Rehearse.